Good afternoon YouTube friends, my name is Jackie. Welcome back to Gone Potty Gardening. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit the subscribe button and click all, and then you won't miss a video in future. Today I'm back out in the polytunnel. As you can see, you can hear the goat in the background. She's seen me again, but there's a few bits that I've got to do outside, but I want to get on with a bit of sewing first, and then the rest of the week's going to be quite nice, so hopefully I can get outside. The few bits that I've got to put in outside are mainly at the moment carrots. Now I've not tried these before. These are the seed tapes. Yeah, so that'd be the first time for me this year trying those. But also I've got autumn king carrots to put out, so I'll direct sow these ones, lay these down in strips, and also got another variety, but I've written on the packet not to grow that until mid-April. So I just found that writing on the packets made it easier when I look through them, so that's what I've been doing. So before I put those in the raised beds, I want to make sure there's no stones in there, because you know, like I said before, stones can make carrots go off like they've got a pair of legs called forking, and yeah, I don't want that. So yeah, today I'm going to get on with this sewing, and then probably tomorrow when it's nice I'll go through. I'll probably need about 3 beds at the moment to grow some carrots in, and so I need to go through those 3 beds with a sieve and make sure there's no big stones in there, because I want some good luck with carrots this year. I also want to get started with these dwarf French beans. This one's called Orinoco, so I want to get these planted today. Now, not planted outside, I mean in the polytunnel, in sowing trays, you know. Last year I direct sown them, but I'd rather be a good sized plant and put them out than direct sow them and slugs get them. So I think I'm going to do that this year. Another dwarf variety here called Opera. So yeah, these are all going to be sown in modules. And another one, Waxbest von Allen. That was from the good old local store that we go to, the German store. The only thing I find with them, and you can never find, they do have English instructions, but it never says when to plant. But anyway, I'm going to go with the other ones. They say April, but I know we're in March, we're in mid-March nearly, but these will be, like I say, inside, and when you've got a polytunnel, it does give you that bit of a head start, so you can get started a little bit before, as long as you don't put them out before the frost is, you know, passed. That's usually, I think that for us is probably around about May, you know, about the first week in May. I'll have to check that out, but usually it's not till then. So yeah, I've got quite a lot of sewing, but that's not all. I was sweet corn as well. We've always been really lucky with the corn. It's been lovely. I've got an early bird F1 corn to get started with, and the other one's called, this one's early as well. You can sow this in March again, but I'm doing it indoors. This one is called Rising Sun F1. So again, I'm going to grow these in raised beds because they did really well. They did okay in the ground, but I think I'm going to keep it all together in the raised beds. And yeah, so yeah, quite a bit of sowing to do today. One of the things that I love to grow in the garden is flowers. Flowers make the garden as well, not just your vegetables. And you can grow your flowers amongst your vegetables, they all get on well. California poppies I find are perfect here because, you know, you can plant them here and there. It gives a splash of colour in your garden and it's lovely. So I'm going to be planting some of them again in cells in little pots, and then what I do when they're ready, when I can put them out, I just transfer plant them out of the pot into where I want to put them, you know. And they do bush up and you get all different colours. They're lovely. So I've got 2 packets of them. Another one is a perennial Niagara hollyhock. Now these can get quite big, can't they? And they are prone to a bit of rust. but they're good for the bees. But yeah, I'm gonna get going with those. They say they get to a height of 180 centimeters, which is tall, isn't it? So I'll probably end up putting them at the back of the border. That's all being that they do all right. And this is a dwarf flower called it's a torch assortment F1 hybrid. The dwarf ones I grow in Ireland because with the bigger ones you don't get a we don't get a long growing season, so they don't the big sunflowers don't get to a great height. Well, I don't find here in the west anyway, we don't get a great deal of sunshine. So I've gone for the dwarf sunflowers, and we should get some nice seeds there for growing on next year as well. Some nice flowers and some for the birds, hopefully, fingers crossed. Another one here is Lupin My Castle. It's a very tall, 4 foot I think, red lupin. I did send some seeds out to Joyce and she sent me some back, which was really kind of her. So I'm going to put those in today. Again, these are all being pots, and probably have to pot them ones on and raise them to a bigger plant before I put them outside. Yeah, so lots to do today. I'll show you what I've been sowing. Well, I sowed these the other day, I think, after the last video. So I'll show you what I've been doing out here. I'll tell you what I forgot to tell you as well. I did get another bag of red onions, which are direct sow outside shortly when I get out there and do the carrots. So yeah, there's another bag of them. Now I did take some cuttings there of a shrub. Now I know they look half dead, but they will pick up. I can't remember the name of it, but it has red bells on it and it's lovely. So I've took a few cuttings of that, and like I say, they will pick up, and I'll show you them in a few weeks when they've picked up. I used the rooting powder and dabbed it in there, give them a water. So that's another thing I've been doing. These second earlies, I shall be planting them soon, but I'll leave the main crop potatoes for probably to the end of March before I put them in. So they're doing all right. These are some of the seedlings that I put in before. I think it was in the last video. There's some all year round cauliflower. Well, I shall sow some more now so that I'll have them at different stages. Those are in these little pots are the onions, the salad onions, a different variety. I changed the variety because I didn't do very well with them, so yeah, they're coming on all right. The coriander's coming up in those little pots. I'm still waiting for some of these to come through. These are the Brussels. They've come up really well, look. And in the other one are the pak choi. I showed you them last time. Microgreens are all good now, so I should take them indoors and put them in the kitchen, and we'll be able to use those. Really pleased with them. And I'll probably set some more going as well now. We got a mixture there, broccoli, pink kale, and I can't remember what this one is. Oh, fungeek. And these were the ones that I'd sat out here and done the other day. Virginia stock. I've done quite a few of those. I've done 2 rows of them. Can't read my own writing. That's a type of flower. Can't pronounce it. Linymphium purpurea. I'll put a picture up if I've got one. St John's wort. I've grown some of that. Now this has all been covered at night, so it will take a while to come through, but I've been putting a cover over it. Campanula. That's a good one. So I've been trying to get quite a few perennials so that I can use them. Well, so that they come up every year, you know. Aubrietia, 2 rows of Aubrietia. So I only did them a couple of days ago. So yeah, that's since the last video. Now I did pick some of these up from again the German store. Now these are quite good actually. These are a lot stronger than normal the ones that I've previously bought. So I'm going to use these for the sweet corn. First off, I'm going to fill the tray with multi-purpose compost, and then I'll get sowing. So I've got a bag at the side of me, and I'm just filling these pots with multi-purpose compost, and I'll probably sow the early bird ones in here. Well, they won't take all of these, but I'll start off with the early bird. But these are a decent sized pot. Usually the ones I've bought before are not great, but these seem a bit stronger. And I use these year after year. I also use these, and I know it's plastic, but every year I use the same ones, and so they're, you know, they're not going to landfill or anything like that. They're useful, and they're nice and deep for planting your seedlings, or potting on actually as well. So I've got these few done with soil, so that would be enough to get these early bird. I don't think you get that many in a packet, mind you, when you think of how many plants you get on each one. Have we got here 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 13. So yeah, I'm just gonna pop them in like that. Actually, it looks like they've put something on them so you can see them better. And yeah, I'll just be putting these in, covering them with soil, give them a water at the end, and then label them. And they will be in the polytunnel, and I'll probably cover these like I have the rest of the plants, and until they start to come through. And even though they're in the polytunnel, you still have to keep your eye out on frosty weather and keep your things covered in the polytunnel, because you will lose them. Even like tomato plants, I've kept them indoors until they get quite a bit bigger, and I'll wait till you know, the weather starts warming up, which it should do soon. We're still only in March though, aren't we? So that's early bird F1s. Let's get a label. I bought a decent pen out with me as well. Bought one the other day and it kept rubbing everything out. Let's have a look. Here we are. I can't remember the date. So I'm not going to lie, I had to go and have a look, see what the date was, and it's the 11th now. So I put, well, that pen's no good. It's not a very good start. So it's the 11th of the 3rd, and these are early bird. Corn. I'm just going to do, well, I'm actually, I will do one for each, because otherwise I'll get messed up with them, but I'll do that and I'll be back to you. These ones are the Rising Sun F1. Now with corn you can grow it indoors. It needs a temperature of between 15 and 20 to germinate, but when I cover these with the door shut in here as well, it does get a nice temperature in here. So yeah, there's quite a few more seeds in this one. I'm going to do them all. You know, you don't always get them all that germinate. And I think most years now I'm going to buy fresh seed of everything, because you do get less germination with older seeds. Yeah, I think I'm going to be a few hours sewing out here. And I've got some, what do you call it, cauliflowers to put in their own pots. I don't know, I'm going to sew all these, to be honest, not in the same thing. Won't be enough room. But there you are, there's, what are there, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 plants, that's plenty for them. And now I'll just cover them all in seed and just put one label for the rest, because I know that they're all of the same variety. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on the top of these ones. And then I shall give them a water and put them in the polytunnel and cover them and keep an eye on them. If it's quite a nice temperature here during the day, I'll probably just take the cover off for a little while. And amazing, isn't it? When you look at the garden now and you think it's all brown and dull and winter looking, and now we're planting the seeds to make our gardens look lovely and full with all these lovely vegetables. And of course as well, when they're finished growing, we're still benefiting from the garden, because we're using all the leftover dead, you know, leaves and roots and all that from when we've been growing for our compost. So it helps us in a lot of ways, doesn't it, when you think? Yeah, so it's getting a bit chilly out here. I might have to go and get my coat in a minute. But one thing I don't want to be is behind with sewing, because it's happened a couple of times, you know, and you don't get enough good weather in the growing season to get them going well. So there we are. So that's all potted up now, and I shall just label one in this side, because I know that they're all the rest, the other variety, and cover them, and that'll be it. This is like a little houseplant watering can, but it's ideal for these little seedlings. So I'm going to water them all now. Oh, I'll have to go and sit with the goat. She won't be quiet. I'll do that in a minute. It's such a nice sense of satisfaction when you get started on your seedlings. I noticed things in the shop were so dear today when I popped down there. And even the shelves, I don't know if it's just coincidence because it was the weekend, but the all the flour was gone, the bread making flour. Pasta was really low. So maybe people are thinking ahead, you know, of like back in the old days when they used to, oh, I have to punch them two back in a bit, look. Start making more homemade stuff, well we do anyway, but even more so, you know, because the price of everything's gone up because of the fuel, and that has a knock-on effect. At night time I do come in the polytunnel and make sure everything's covered and keeps warm. Excuse the dogs as well. These dwarf beans, I think I'm going to probably grow 2 in a pot, and I should be growing them in these. And then the pots I put in another big tray so they all stand up. It's going to take me quite a while to do all those, so I'll have to get on with that. And I'll catch you in the next video. Anyway, take care everyone. Bye for now. Bye.
Why not come and join me on Facebook or Instagram? The link is in the description.